sometimes
Correct.
$10,000 or $20,000 that you got to put up front
Correct.
before the case even begins.
Correct.
That's not including your attorney's fees. So when you're looking at arbitration, people have to weigh whether or not that's worth it.
Correct. It's all upfront money, and they will dismiss your case unless you pay them in advance.
I was going to ask you, what happens if somebody cannot afford the arbitration?
Well, there's two options. Okay. I've dealt with this as on the litigation side, and I've seen this from the arbitration side too. Okay. So depending on which arbitration form you're in, you pay your fees. Okay. And the other side has to pay their fees in order to participate. So guess what? They may not want to pay their fees. And guess what? If they don't pay their fees, you get kicked out of arbitration and the case gets dismissed. You get your money refunded less, some costs, but you're out of arbitration. Or if you want, you can pay their fees. So they'll gladly arbitrate your case for you if you're the claimant, but you have to pay the respondent's fees and then, arbitrate the case. They may still participate, just not pay their fees. And then at the end of the case, you're entitled to recover you paying for their fees in addition to whatever else you're entitled to recover for. So I've dealt with that. I've dealt with, on the litigation side, that exact scenario where we got kicked out of arbitration because my client didn't want to front the fees. And so we went to court, and then they came into court and said, no, we want to go to arbitration. And so we said in court, here's the order of dismissal saying that they didn't want to arbitrate. And they're like, no, we do now. We elect our arbitration rights. We're going to pay this time. And so I dealt with that on 4 related cases where the state court judge ruled twice in my favor and twice in their favor. And they're all 4 on appeals now. So, to be told, but that's what happens is either if you don't pay, you get kicked out, or you can pay the other side's fee if you want to go forward. And then hopefully you collect it later on.
Matthew, this was very informative.